Okay, so good evening everyone. Am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so is my screen visible to all?
Yes, sir.
That's great. All right. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about display. Okay, display flex. The display flex property. Okay, and this display flex is nothing but this is a property of CSS. Okay, okay. So we have already seen some display properties like inline. Okay, then display block, and we have discussed about inline block. Okay, so what's the mean of inline? Can anyone tell me what is inline property?
सर इनलाइन वो है स्टाइल देके उसका अंदर स्टाइल देके HTML के अंदर लिखना पड़ेगा अलग से
Right.
ये
Somehow you are
अलग से CS
Mhm. Okay. So in HTML we have elements. If we talk about HTML, so in HTML we have elements. Okay, and our elements are divided into two categories. One is block label. Block label means these elements display property by default is what? Block. Okay, they are having block property, and some elements having inline property. Okay, display inline. Okay, so what are the elements which are having this block property, display block property? For example, h1 is there. Okay, h1 to h6 all headings are having block display block property, and paragraph tag is there, right? And after that, like we can say unordered list, or we can say like some other elements are there. Can anyone take the name of other elements?
BR
h2.
tag strong tag
Okay, br tag
strong
is there. Okay, okay, and a strong tag is not a block
HR
label. It
Header,
is okay. Yes, header is there.
HR
Sorry, what you are saying?
semantic tags, all semantic tags.
All semantic tag we can say. Okay, all semantic tags which are introduced in HTML5. Okay, so what are the semantic tags? Semantic tags are like header is there. Okay, and what? Nav is there. Okay, content is there, right? And footer is there. So these are what semantic tags, and we can say this is what block label elements. Okay, so this is the category of block label elements, and we have another element which is inline elements. So what are the inline elements? Like formatting elements, like b tag, okay, a strong tag, right, italic tag, emphasize tag. So these are what italic, but what these are what inline. So what's the difference between inline and block? So for example, let's try to understand this block and inline. For example, this is what our web page. This is our web page. So for example, if we talk about block label element, so block label elements like h1, okay, like, so if you will write heading with h1 element, so it will take complete width. It will take complete width. Your h1 element will take the complete width, okay, of the web page, right? And if you will write second h like h1 or h2 element, if you will write, so it will not start from the same line, okay, because all the width occupied by the h1 element. So this h2 element will start from the new line, and this h1 h2 also, which label, block label, so it will also occupy complete width, okay, right? Suppose now let's talk about block label. I mean in inline. This is what block label. Okay, and if we talk about inline, so suppose this is your computer screen, or we can say there is a web page, and you are writing. Suppose using I tag, you are writing some content. Okay, some content you are writing I using I tag. Okay, like italic. Okay, so this whatever content you have written using inline element, so it will take the required space only. Okay, the required space need to be this visible, this content. Okay, so it will take this much. And suppose if you are writing something else with b tag, okay, something else you are writing with b tag, so it will start from the same line. Okay, because it will not take the complete width, but block label take the complete width. So these are what inline element. Okay, and one more thing is here, if we talk about width, okay, so here width can work. You can give width to your content, okay, and also you can give height. Okay, height also work here, right? But if we talk about inline elements, so when you will give the height to your inline elements, I mean width will not work, and same for height also you cannot apply on inline element. Okay, suppose there is a condition, okay, there is a condition where you want to keep your content in same line. For example, this is taking this space, and another content you want to start with same line. Okay, same line. So like if you are using h1 here, so it will take complete width. Okay, and if you are using paragraph here to writing this content, so it will also take complete width, means it should start from here. But if you want my content should start from this place only. Okay, so what you can do here, you can write one more property, which is inline block. Okay, inline block means inline block having combination of both property inline and block. So here width will work, and height will also work. Okay, and one more thing, content will not start from the new line. Content will not be started with new line. Are you guys clear what I'm trying to say? Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we have to learn one more property. What is that? That is flex. Okay. So we have to learn one more property which is flex. Okay. So what is the mean of flex? What is the mean of flex? Flex is nothing but flex means okay. So flex means flexible. Okay. Flexible, or we can say with the help of Flexbox, what we can do, we can create powerful layout. Okay. So what do you mean by powerful layout? So for example, this is one box. Okay. This is one box. Okay. If I make this box flexible, if I give the flex property to this box, so whatever elements are there inside this blocks, so we can adjust these elements anywhere. We can adjust these elements anywhere in the page. Okay. And it makes our design responsive. Okay. So for example, if you want, like in your like content, you want elements like this. Okay. So you can keep, or if you want to keep elements here in center only, so you can achieve it with the help of Flexbox. Or if you want to keep elements here at bottom, so this is also you can achieve. Okay. So if you want, like whenever screen will shrink, so your item will overflow. Okay. Your item will go outside the screen. For example, it is visible properly on desktop, but on mobile, when you will see the same content on mobile, so what will happen, it will not properly visible. Some data will go outside the screen because mobile screen is small. So with the help of Flexbox, you can control this. So means whenever the screen size will small, it will shrink. Okay. It will make space accordingly. Whenever the screen size is big, it will come in a row. Okay. Are you understanding? They can self adjust. Okay. So when we talk about Flexbox, when we talk about flex property, so we have two flex properties. One is for parent property. Okay. Another one is child property. Okay. Parent also known as container. Okay. Child also known as box. Box inside container. Right. Okay. So if we talk about like parent property, so in parent property or container property, we have first property which is flex. First of all, for example, if you want to make this box, if you want to make this box flex box, so what you will do, you will write first property in CSS, display what, flex. Okay, I will tell you with code, don't worry about it. Right. And after writing this, after writing this property, this box will behave like a flex. Okay. And then we have one more property which is flex direction. Okay. Okay, let me tell you how it will work. Okay, so let's start VS Code. Okay. Let me start VS Code so that we can understand the flex property properly. Okay, so let me create one folder here. Okay, folder is already there, Frontend folder, and this is what CSS. And let me create one more folder which is day 4. Okay, let me create here one file, okay, which is index.html. Okay, so here I will create one boiler template for HTML. So how to get the boiler template? By writing HTML:5. Okay, and here we can give the title. What's the title? Flex box. Okay, and here what we will do? Here we will create one container. Okay, like we will create one container div. Okay, and inside this container what we have to do? We have to create box. Okay, so like box 1, box 2. Okay, but if you will write like this, suppose if we want to create 50 blocks, so do we write again and again? So that is not the efficient way. So better to use VS Code emits. Okay, so how to use VS Code emits? Just write here, like what we need to write, just press dot and write here container. Okay, and inside the container, okay, so inside the container what we want? We want another class, I mean another div which is box, right? And how many like divs you want inside the container? Suppose I want like 4 divs. Okay, and inside each div there should be some content like box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4, like that. Okay, so you want box from 1 to 4, so just press here dollar. Okay, dollar means it will start with 1 and it will come up to 4. Okay, because it is multiplied by 4. So this is what VS Code emits. So this is coming automatically. Is it good way to create now? So what is the emit we have written? Dot container, after that greater than symbol, and after that dot. Dot means if you are starting something with dot, it means class. Okay, it means class. So this is what div. What is a class? Container. Okay, and here I am starting one more thing with dot, so that is what box, right? Okay, and after that I want to write this content. So for writing this content, just use curly braces, and this box and hyphen is same like static content. So just write here box hyphen and dollar. Why dollar? Because this numbering is changing. Okay, this numbering is changing. Okay, is this correct? Correct, Amit? Is it correct? Can anyone please verify? Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
What about others? Is it written correctly? So where you
Sir,
mentioned
no,
like
sir.
you need 4
Actually,
boxes.
box.
Yes, we have to multiply it by 4 because we need how many boxes? 4 boxes. And then only this dollar will replace by 1, 2, 3 up to 4. Okay, is it fine now?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so let me just start live server. Okay, we have live server extension, so we already installed it. Okay, so this is coming box 1, box 2, box 3. But is it looking like boxes? No, it is not looking like boxes. Okay, so what I will do, I will apply some CSS, right? So what I will do, I'll create one more file which is style.css. Okay, cascading style sheet. But our index.html don't know about this style.css. Why? Because this style.css is not linked with index.html. So what we will do, we will just link it. How we can link? Just write link tag and here just mention the location. So what is the location? If you will write dot and forward slash, so it means the current folder location. So on current folder there are two files, index and style. So which we have to choose? Style.css. So this is how style.css has been linked. Okay, so let me call this container. Okay, container. So if it is what class, if this container having class, so what we need to do, we will call it with dot. Okay, dot container. Okay, and curly braces. So dot container is what? Dot container is what? Tell me. Tell me guys. What is dot container? Dot container is a class selector. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For example, inside the selector, what do we write? We write property and what we write? Value. Okay. So what property we will write? We will write, let me write here border. So if I'm writing here border, so this is what property, and I'm writing here value like 5 pixel, solid and red. Okay, so this border is coming. Okay, this border is coming now. See, but border is coming, but padding also coming. Some default padding is coming. Can you see it? Let me inspect it. Okay, so as you can see here, some padding is also coming. Okay, let me just open it into the Chrome browser. Okay, can you see here some padding is coming? Padding, padding means inner space. Okay, or margin is what? Outer space. Let me show you. Let me just open inspect. Okay, so okay, so here you can see here, this is what some default padding is coming. Okay, so how we can remove it? In order to remove this default padding, we write in browser, in VS Code, we will write global property. What we will write? Global property. Okay, so how do we write global properties? By writing star. Okay, what is star? What is star, guys? What is this star?
Universal selector.
Okay, universal selector or global selector. Okay, universal slash global selector. Okay, so here whatever you will write here, it will apply entire page. Okay, all the elements of the HTML. So here I will say padding is what? 0 pixel. Okay, and margin is what? 0 pixel. Okay, so see, margin is not coming now, and I will say all the box should behave like a border box. So box sizing is what? border box. So this is the default property we should write. Okay, now what I want inside this, okay, this box is coming, box 1 and box 2 and box 3. Okay, I want to make them like a box. Okay, so before creating them as a box, what I want to increase the width of the, I want to increase the height of the container. Okay, so my container is taking full width, okay, but it is not taking full height. So what can I say? I can write here height how much? 100 viewport. Okay, viewport height. So when you write 100 vh, so can you see it is taking full width? Yes or no? Okay, now let's design the box. Okay, so how we can select box 1? We can select box 1 by writing box. If you will select it by box, means all the boxes will select. Okay, so we will write common property for all boxes to apply. So let me write here dot box. Okay, so here what I will write? I will write here like border and like 2 pixel solid and okay, suppose navy. Okay, so this is coming like this, right? Okay, so I want to decrease the width of this border. How much? Suppose I'm writing here like 60 pixel for each, or not 60 pixel, but let me write 160 pixel. Okay, now fine. I want to give some height. Okay, so how much height? 160 pixel. Okay, so each box is taking height. Let me write here small height like 100 pixel. Okay, so each box is taking its height, right? Okay, now so if I will write here display property, display flex, so what will happen? So let me write here display flex. Okay, so display flex I have written. Okay, let me just decrease the fonts like size of this like 80 pixel, and this is height is also what, 80 pixel, right? Okay, so I want this boxes in row direction. This is what, okay, I want this in column direction. This is in row direction right now, but I want it in column direction. Okay, what does it mean? See, right now our elements are visible like first, second, third, like that. Okay, but what I want to display them like a row, I mean like a columns. Okay, like this. So we have one property in, okay, when you will make this flex box, I mean display flex, so you can apply one property which is flex direction. Okay, and in flex direction you can mention the value is what, column. So it is coming on. Okay, what is the mistake we are doing? We are doing one mistake here, like blunder mistake we are doing here. So as I said here, we have two types of property, like one is parent property and one is child property. Okay, so whenever you are creating a container, Okay, you are creating the container, so you will keep container as what? Flex. You will keep container as flex. Okay, and if you will keep the container as flex, then only you can apply the flex direction. So right now what I am doing, this is what my container, this is my container, and I'm not making this container as flex, display flex. So instead that I'm writing in child. So what I have to do, I will write in display flex here. Okay, all right. Now if I will write here flex direction, okay, so now all the properties will work. Okay, for example, I'm writing here column reverse. Okay, so again I'm writing on container, here we have to write. Okay, so when you will write column reverse, so it is coming column wise but in reverse order. If you will write here only column, so it will come like this. Okay, but if you want some gap, if you want some gap in between, so what you can write here, you can write gap and like 5 pixel. Okay, so like that some gap is coming, right? And if you want like it should not touch your touch the border of this container, so you can keep in container, you can give padding. Padding is what? 10 pixel, so it is not touching to the padding. Okay, suppose if you want to make it row, if you want to display in row, so what you can do, instead of writing column, you can mention here row. So these all boxes are coming in row, right? And if you want to reverse this row, means your box 4 should come here, and box 1 should come here, and box 3 should come here, and box 2 should come here. So if you want to reverse the row, so what you can write? Row reverse. Okay, in flex direction you can write row reverse. Okay, so first is what? Fourth box is coming, then third, second, and one. Okay, in reverse order is coming. Okay, so what we have seen so far, okay, so when you will make a container like what? Display flex. Okay, so on that container you can apply this property flex direction. Okay, so what are the properties you can give as a flex direction? In flex direction, what are the values you can give? We can write here row. Okay, what is another property we can give, which is column?
Call.
What is another property we can give?
Row reverse.
Row reverse. We can write here row reverse. Okay, and what is another property we can give?
Column reverse.
Column reverse. Okay, so these many properties we can give. So let me tell you, this is what row is, what? Default property. Row is what? Default property of flex direction. Okay, so right now my content is like this. Okay, so if I'm writing here row, so it will come from starting 1 2 3 4 like this. Okay, so if I will remove this, okay, so by default it is what? River, I mean row. By default it is what? In row. Okay, so row is what? Default. If you will, if you want to mention the flex direction row, so it will be same. If you will not mention, then it will be same. But for column you need to write, right? If you will comment it out, if you will comment this property, it will be by default in row direction. Okay, so that's why default property of flex direction is what? Row. Okay, make sure you are applying this properties on container. Okay, right? Suppose I'm creating more boxes. Okay, how many boxes we have? Total 7 boxes. Okay, so see, when screen size is good, when screen size is big, it is coming properly. Okay, so when you will reduce the screen size, so what will happen? When you reduce the screen size, okay, not this. So when you reduce the screen size, what will happen? It will lose their proper position. Okay, the content is not properly visible, but on big screen it is properly visible. So it is not adjusting automatically. When screen size is small, our layout is disturbed. Okay, so what we can do here, we can give one property here. Okay, we can give here one property to the container. What's the property we can give? Okay, we can write here flex wrap. Okay, so by default the property of the flex wrap is no wrap. Okay, so it is not doing any wrap. So but if you will write wrap, so what will happen? The remaining layout, the remaining boxes which are not able to fit on one row, they will go to the next row. Okay, when you will increase the screen size, automatically it will be adjust. Okay, so it is coming in one row. Suppose if you are opening this in mobile devices, okay, so when you are opening it in mobile devices, so what will happen? It will automatically adjust. Okay, this content will automatically adjust, but previously that content was not adjusting. Okay, it was disturbing our layout, right? Are you understanding, guys? So what is the property we have seen? Second property, what is the name of the second property?
Flex wrap.
Okay, flex wrap. So what is the default property of this flex wrap? No wrap. Okay, okay, and what is, we can say, what property we can give? We can give wrap. Okay, we have one more property we can give, which is wrap reverse. Okay, we can give wrap reverse. Okay, so let's try to see here. Okay, so now right now it is what? In wrap direction. Okay, we have applied wrap property here. Okay, so if you will write here wrap reverse, okay, let me tell you, if you will remove the wrap property from here, it will be like this. If you will write here wrap, so it will adjust automatically, and if you will write here wrap reverse, so your content will reverse. Okay, so seventh box is coming first, then 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, like that it is coming in reverse order. Okay, getting? Are you guys understanding this?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, that's great. Now let's understand one more wonderful property, which is, okay, this is what container property we can apply on container. The name of the property is what? Justify content. Okay, justify content. Okay, so this is one of the useful property of CSS, right? Okay, so here we can give values. What are the values we can give? Let me write here, justify content. Justify content means here you can give the values. Okay, you can give the values like flex start. I will tell you what's the mean of flex start. What's the mean of flex start? Let me tell you. For example, this is what? Your page, your container. Okay, so if you will apply this container, if you will apply this container flex start, okay, so your element will be at this direction. Okay, at which direction? At a starting direction, right? And the second property is what? Second property of this flex content is what? Flex end. What do you mean by flex end? So whenever you will write flex end property to your container, flex end, so your container will shift to the towards the rights, right? What is another property? Another property is center. Okay, so if you will write center, justify content center means your items, center means your items will be in center position, right? Okay, we can give more properties as well. What is other property? We can mention here space between. Okay, so what do you mean by space between? Let's suppose this is what our container. Okay, and if you will give the property here what? Space between. Okay, so what will happen? One container will be there, I mean one box will come here, second box will come in middle, and the third box will go in last. Okay, so because there is a space in between each boxes, there is a space between each boxes. So if you want to create this type of layouts, so you can create, you can apply this property. Okay, which property? Justify content, and these are the values of this property. And we have other values as well. Not only this, we have other properties as well, I mean other values as well of justify content property, which is space around. Okay, so what do you mean by space around? Space around. Okay, so space around means, see, this is starting with corner. Okay, you can assume this like this is just touching the corner. Okay, this is also touching the edge. But when you write the space around means it will not touch. Okay, it will not touch the edge. Okay, and there will be same space between each box. Are you understanding the difference between space between and space around? When you give the
Yes, sir.
space between, there is no space in starting, right? And there is no space in ending, right? But when you will give the space around, so everywhere you will see space. Okay, in between also there is what? Space. Okay, and in starting also there is a space. Are you understanding, guys? Give the confirmation, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now let's try to understand space evenly. So what is the mean of space evenly? Let's see. Suppose this is your container. Okay, so in containers you have box. Okay, so if you are giving here space evenly, okay, if you are writing space evenly, so see, whatever space here, suppose like 2 pixel space is there, so same space will be here also, and the same space will be here also, and the same space will here also. Means space will equally distribute among the boxes. But what is the difference in around, space around? See here, suppose there is what? 1 pixel space, and there is what? 3 pixel space. Okay, and here again 1 pixel space. So space are there in around, space are there, but space are not equally distributed. But is in space evenly, space is there but equally distributed. Getting, guys? So these are the properties of justify align, I mean justify content. Let's try to do it. Let's try to apply these properties. Okay, so what we have to do, first of all we have to write here. Okay, let me just delete some useless boxes. Let's keep only 3 boxes. Okay, so these are the 3 boxes. Okay, and what is our container? Can you see this red? Okay, can you see this, what we can say, red border? So this is our container. Okay, and where is this container? This is the property of the container. Okay, if you want to make more stylish to your box, so what you can give, you can give box shadow. Okay, you can apply shadow. So this is what x and y 0, pillar is what text pixel, and I'm writing here like blue. Okay, or I'm writing here red. Box shadow. Okay, I'm applying on container. Basically I have to apply this box shadow on box. Okay, so box is what? Here. So it is applying on each box. Let's just keep it 5 pixel. Okay, or or let me just create 10 pixel border, or not 10 pixel, like 5 pixel. Okay, and let me give color is what? White. Okay, and let me give shadow is what? Black. Okay, so it is not looking good. Okay, Okay, fine. Let me, okay, 10 pixel. Okay, now what we have to do, let's try to apply which properties. Let's try to apply this justify content property. Okay, we apply this justify content property on container. Okay, so where is our container? Where is our container? Here is our container. Here we are writing container property. So what we will write here? Justify content. And what content we can write? So the default is what? Start. Okay, so it will not make any difference if you will write here start instead of start. If you will write end, so it is going which side? It is moving towards right. Okay, as I told you, if you will write end, it will go to the right side, and it is going to the right side. Okay, suppose I want to move it in center. So what I will write? Can anyone tell me? I want to move it in center.
Center, sir.
Yes, simply we will write here center. If you will write here, it is in center. Okay, in this row it is in center. All right, if I want to move it, like I want to keep one element here, and third box here, and the second box in middle in the same direction, what we can do, right? What we can write then?
Space between.
Yes, we can write here what? Space between. So when you will write instead of center, if you will write space between, so what will happen? It will come like this. Okay, but what I want to give more space from the starting. Okay, I want little bit more space in starting and in ending. What we can write?
Space around.
Space around. So we can write here space around. Okay, so can you tell me this space and between this box 1 and box 2, the space this and this space both are same, starting and middle space?
No, sir.
No.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
want to write same space. Then what we can do?
Space evenly.
Space even or evenly?
Evenly.
Yes, even. So see, same space coming among each boxes. All right. And if you want to make it more stylish, like if you want to make your box more stylish, so you can apply more properties in box. Like you can say color is what? Navy, means text color will change. Okay. Font size like 30 pixel, not 30 pixel, 25 pixel. Font weight bolder. Okay, and what you can give more? Okay, that's it. Means other other properties, I mean other styling also you can give if you want, but we don't need much styling right now. Okay, all right, so let's wrap up the class. Let's wrap up today's class. So we have seen display properties. Generally we have how many display properties we have? First, like we can say we have block, display block, we have display inline, we have. Okay, we have display inline block. Okay, and today we have studied about flex. Okay, display flex. Okay, so these are the display properties. Okay, so in flex, when we talk about flex property, so flex means flexible. So flex property we apply on what? Container. So flex properties are two types. First one is what? First one is what? Container. Container properties. And the second one is child property. So we didn't seen any child property yet. We discussed about Which property? Only container property. So in container properties, we have seen what properties we have seen in container. First one is what? We have seen flex direction. So what are the ways we can give direction and what is the default direction? What is the default direction? Row.
Row.
And what are the other property we can give? Column. Okay. Everyone please try this property after this class. I will send you the recording also. And after that we have row reverse. Okay. And after that we have column reverse. Okay. Got it? And default one is this. What is the other property we have seen? Which is container label property. Okay, we cannot apply this property on child. We have seen gap. Gap also there. Gap means it will give some gap between each container. Okay, see we have given gap property as well. Okay, so okay, suppose if I remove the even justify content from here, so some gap is there na, gap is coming just because of this property. If I comment it, so there is no gap. But if you want to give gap, so you can write this. Okay, and you can increase the gap as well. Okay, but if you are not giving gap, so you can give justify content space evenly. Okay, so it will also work. Okay, so it depends on the design, on the layout actually. We have seen gap, and what is another property we have seen? Flex wrap, right? And what are the properties we have? What is the default property? No wrap. What is another property we can give? Tell me. Wrap. What is another property we can give? Tell me guys.
Wrap.
Wrap already I have given.
Wrap.
Wrap reverse. Okay, we can give wrap
Wrap reversal.
reverse. Okay, alright. Now, what are the other property we have seen? Justify content, right? And in justify content, what are the properties we can give? What is the default property? Okay,
Sentence.
here default property is this. What is the default property of this? Justify content.
Flex start.
Okay, we can say flex start or start. Okay, you can simply write start, no problem. So this is what default. Okay, if you will write the justify or not, the default start default justify position is what? Start. So is justify or justify content? What's the property name? Is it justify or justify content?
Justify contents.
Yes. So the property name is what? Justify content. Okay, and what are the values we can give? Start, which is default. Okay, start is there and end is there, then center is there, then space property is there, between and space, around and space, evenly Okay, is it correct? Did I miss any property? No, I guess no. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. Tomorrow we will discuss one more property which is very important. Okay, which is what? Align items. What is the property name? Align item. Okay, so this we will discuss tomorrow, and based on these all properties we will create one mini project in tomorrow class. So be ready for that, right? So we will finish like whatever we will complete the flex topic. Tomorrow we will finish this flex topic along with mini project. All right. So thank you everyone for attending today's class. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Does anyone have any doubt? No? All right. Cool, guys. Okay. So good night, everyone. Thanks for giving your valuable time, and I hope you learned something new from today's class. Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes, yes.
All right. All right. All right. Bye, guys.